In June 2011, Chiang Mai was hot and quiet. The rains hadn't come yet, and the sky felt heavy, like it was waiting for something to break. At Baan Thipya Boarding School, most of the students had gone home for the weekend, except for a few girls who stayed behind to study for finals. Noon was one of them. 16, smart, the kind of girl who always carried 2 pens, just in case. She stayed up late in the dorm's study hall with her best friend Lynn, flipping through flashcards and complaining about math. By 10:30 p.m., they were the only ones left awake. The dorm was too quiet. No fans, no insects, just the occasional creak of wooden floors under the weight of who knows what. When Lynn got up to brush her teeth, Noon followed. The dorm bathroom was long and narrow, with 6 toilet stalls on one side and foggy mirrors on the other. But there was a 7th stall. All the way at the end. The door was smaller, the tiles cracked, and no one ever used it. There was a story, passed down from class to class. If you knock 3 times on the 7th stall, someone knocks back, but you can't open it. If you open it, something trades places with you. Noon laughed. Like Hanako-san. No, Lynn said. Hanako doesn't swap your soul. That made Noon pause. Then, half joking, she walked to the end of the bathroom. Noon, stop! It's just a door. Look! She raised her hand. Silence. Lynn grabbed her arm. Okay, enough. Noon rolled her eyes, washed her face, and they both left. Lights off, doors shut. Around 2 a.m., Noon couldn't sleep. Not because she was scared, because she was curious. She got up, quietly, no slippers. The hallway was dark. The bathroom door creaked open. She stepped inside. 6 stalls. And then, the 7th. Still there, still closed. She walked to it, heart not racing, just steady, focused. She raised her hand again. This time, there was a sound. A pause. Then, exactly the same. Noon didn't breathe. She waited. The doorknob jiggled, just once. And then, silence. She stepped back, heart now thudding. She didn't open it, she swore she didn't. But when she turned to leave, she caught a glimpse of the mirror. Just for a second, her reflection was smiling, and she wasn't. Noon blinked, hard. The mirror went back to normal. Just her, tired eyes, messy bun, and definitely not smiling. She told herself it was stress. Too much studying, not enough sleep. The brain does weird things when it's tired, right? She turned off the bathroom light and left, walking fast. She didn't look back. But after that night, things started changing. The next morning, Noon's toothbrush was wet. Not damp, soaking. But she hadn't used it yet. Neither had Lynn. And the next night, around midnight, she heard water running in the bathroom. Splashing, gurgling. She checked, the lights were off, no one inside, but the sound stopped the moment she opened the door. Then, there was the smell. Soft, sweet, like jasmine flowers, the kind old Thai aunties wear in their hair or hang on spirit shrines. But this scent followed her, in the study hall, in the hallway, even on her own pillow. She asked Lynn if she smelled it too. Smelled what? Jasmine. Noon, you hate jasmine. I know, but now it was everywhere. 3 days later, she broke. She waited until lunch break when everyone was outside, then she went back to the bathroom. Straight to the end, straight to the 7th stall. The door creaked open before she even touched it. It wasn't dark. It was off. The walls had faint handprints on them, fingernail scratches, Someone had written numbers on the inside, dates, most of them from years ago. And in the center wall, where a mirror shouldn't be, there was one, old, cracked. Noon stepped closer. Her reflection stared back. At first, it copied her movements perfectly, until she tilted her head. Her reflection didn't follow. It stayed still and smiled. Then it whispered, through the glass, "You opened the door. You made the trade." Noon stumbled back. She turned and ran, but as she glanced back just for a second, she saw something terrifying. Her reflection didn't move. It stayed behind, still smiling, still staring. That night, a girl from another dorm vanished. No one noticed until morning. And Noon? She didn't remember the girl's name, even though they used to sit next to each other in science class. Noon stared at the empty desk in class, feeling that strange hollow in her chest again. She asked Lynn, "Wasn't someone else sitting there?" Lynn blinked. "Who?" I don't know." The memory was slippery, like trying to hold water in her hands. Noon was forgetting things. Not just people, herself. She couldn't remember her blood type during the health check, she forgot her phone passcode, and when she tried signing her name for a library book, she paused halfway. She couldn't remember how her handwriting looked. The worst part, she didn't feel scared. She felt like maybe she wasn't supposed to remember. That night, Noon dreamed of the 7th stall. Not the one in the dorm, but the one inside her head. She stood in front of it, barefoot, dripping wet, holding jasmine flowers. The door opened. Inside was the mirror, but instead of showing her reflection, it showed a version of her, smiling, hair perfectly combed, wearing a clean uniform. The other Noon spoke. "You let me in. Now you know how this ends." Noon, she fucked up. She ran. Still in her pajamas, feet slapping cold tile, she rushed to the bathroom. The door to the 7th stall was open again. Of course it was. She stepped inside. The mirror was waiting. Her reflection was already there. Smiling, of course, but this time, it stepped out. Noon screamed, backed up, but the stall door slammed shut behind her. Now both of them were in the same space. The mirror was just glass now. Nothing behind it. No way out. The other Noon tilted her head, gently, and said, "Only one of us gets to leave." Noon tried to speak, but her throat felt like full of water. She backed into the wall, but it offered no escape. The other Noon walked closer, then whispered something only she could hear. "You opened the door. You knocked first." The next morning, everything seemed normal. Classes, chatter, rain finally falling outside. Lynn met Noon in the hallway. She was smiling again. Calmer, neater, different. They walked to class together. But as they passed the flower stand outside the school gates, Lynn hesitated. "Wait, since when do you wear jasmine? I like it now. You always said it made you gag." "Did I?" She smiled. Later that day, a maintenance crew came to fix a leaking pipe in the dorm's bathroom. One of them noticed something odd behind the tiles near the last stall. They pried it open and found a sealed mirror cracked across the center. Behind it, faintly scratched into the wall, "Let me out." Some doors don't open for nothing. Some trades can't be undone. And in some mirrors, someone is always waiting.